Hello everyone and welcome into a brand new Civilization 6 tutorial. This is the in-game settings tutorial following right off the back of the pre-game settings tutorial. My name is Bradley and today we are looking at all the settings in the in-game options screen to make sure you know what you are doing when you are adjusting these settings and which ones you should adjust based on how you would like to enjoy the game. Again, like every tutorial, I recommend that you watch this one and then go watch other tutorials because everyone will have a different point of view, a different opinion, and exposing yourself to all those opinions will make you the most well-rounded Civ player and give you the most information. Look, I'm going to forget something. I might say something that doesn't make sense. I don't know. Someone might correct me on something on another video, so go check those out as well. I am pro leaving my channel as much as I hope you enjoy it and seeing the world of Civ content. There's so much stuff out there. Also, if you're an experienced Civ player, again, this one's probably not for you. This one is probably just for those people who are hopping into those first few games of Civ and want to know what all these settings do. All right, so what we're going to do now is go through all of them. I'm going to go through them in kind of a priority order here. The first thing I want to talk about is these HUD ribbons. This is the most common question I get asked in my stream when it comes to in-game settings. I see it every other Civ stream. So many people ask, how do you get this information here? So you can see right now, we have met Frederick, he's up here, and I can see his military strength, his science, his culture, his gold, his faith, and his diplomatic favor. And a lot of people assume people are using a mod to get this information. If you go to options, go to interface, and then go to show yields in HUD ribbon, and go hide, they're gone, they're hidden. Bye-bye. Right? I don't see them at all. If I go back and turn them on again, they're going to be back, obviously. But it's show yields in HUD ribbon after options, after interface, right here, and then those will appear. So that's the first thing people get asked about on stream usually is these HUD ribbons up top, and that is how you turn them on and off. The second thing of two things that get asked commonly, the rest we'll do in order, but autosaves are a big thing. There's a lot of deity level Civ streams, myself included, that always recommend in new players to have autosaves, right? So in options here, if you just go to the game, it tells you all your autosave information in these two. Turns between autosaves and number of autosaves to keep. So this dictates when it'll create an autosave file. Right? So after every turn, after every 2 turns, after every 3. I always set it to keep me a save file after every turn, just in case something crashes, just in case something goes wrong. Right now I have it set to 10 autosaves, but I would set it to 50 or 100 if you have enough hard drive space, especially if you're learning. Right? That way if something goes wrong, if you're like, hey, let's move my unit. Oh, let's choose foreign trade. Let's put some stuff in here. Let's confirm those. Right? You go to next turn, and something happens, and you're like, oh man, I wish I hadn't done that. Instead of playing the rest of the game, being mad at yourself for having done something you wish you hadn't done, you can press escape, load game, go back up to autosaves here, and it keeps all your autosaves. So I have turn 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 11. You'll see there's no turn 1 though, because I've only autosaved 10. So once it hits 11, it deletes the first one. So autosaves are really, really handy if you're keeping a whole lot of them because it allows you to try a whole bunch of new things without committing yourself to the rest of the game if you didn't like what you did. If you built like a bunch of cavalry units and then they all died and you're like, man, I wish I didn't have to play this game where I just get rolled over, you can roll back a few turns and build a bunch of other units and see if that makes your life easier. So I hope that makes sense how autosaves and how HUD ribbons work because those are the most common things I see on Twitch or in YouTube videos that people want to know about. So those are those two things. The rest we'll do in order. Let's head back to options here. Quick combat and quick movement are really nice because they allow your units to move quickly. Let's do one move here. So we moved quickly, right? You saw how quick that was from one tile to another. Now let us go up to quick movement and disable it and see how slow it takes this warrior to move to the next tile. So you can see they kind of run from tile to tile instead of just slide over. So quick movement and quick combat, the combat one is just making it quicker when you battle units against each other. right? Quick combat and quick movement significantly speed up your game times. A game of Civ that I play on deity already takes about 8 hours, so I'm not going to make it slower by having the units like walk around everywhere instead of just kind of gliding and ice skating across. So most people I know have these two enabled here to make that a little bit quicker for you. Auto end turn disabled. I always want to end my turn when I want to end it. I never want the turn to end automatically. Ever, 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 ever. I always want that next turn thing to come up and then give me the chance to double check that I've done everything right before I go to the next turn. Especially as you get to higher difficulties, I would always recommend manually ending your turn at the end of every turn. So I always keep this disabled. I'm not even sure what the default is, but I always go with disabled. City ranged attack, turn blocking, I keep enabled. This allows you to not accidentally miss a city that can attack something. So if you have walls up and you can attack somebody with those walls, and this is enabled, it won't let you end the turn without alerting you to that, right? If this is disabled, I might not see it. There's a lot of cities going on, there's a lot of things, and I might miss an attack I would have otherwise liked to take had the game reminded me that I could take it. So this just helps me not end my turn if I can attack something with my city. Tuner disables achievements. I've never enabled this, so I would just keep this disabled. Auto download additional content. I believe this is for multiplayer. Correct. Automatically download community made additional content when it's required to join a multiplayer game. So multiplayer games, multiplayer communities, the Civilization Player League and those types of places have certain mods and stuff that you need to download to be able to play on those multiplayer games. So this just allows you to automatically download it. The advisor is handy to you if you are new to the game. It gives you all kinds of information. I obviously have this disabled at this point, but it isn't bad to have the advisor enabled. I don't think their advice is always great, but it's better than no advice when you're just starting out. So the advisor is right here if you want to turn it off or turn it on again. That's where you do that. Autosaves we talked about. Time of day, I turn animated time of day off, just because I find it distracting when I have a lot of other things to think about. When I'm playing on lower difficulties for fun, I turn it back on again because I think the graphics in this game are beautiful. I turn it off when I play on deity just because it's distracting, but otherwise, it's really, really cool to turn the animated time of day on. Right now, I can just choose the time of day, and you can see it brightens or darkens my game depending on what time of the day I've selected, and then animated time of day takes you through the whole spectrum as you play through the game. The rest of this, I have no idea what this is. I've never used it. I've never seen anyone use it. I don't know. Graphics are just your graphic settings. Do whatever you need to do here to make your hardware work for the game. So if your hardware is not working for the game, this is where you adjust all of your graphic settings. I didn't adjust any of this. I just have it set so my graphics card and the game automatically talk to each other and pick the best settings. So I haven't touched anything here, but this is where you would adjust all of your graphic settings. And most games have a screen like that. Audio is audio. I keep everything turned up equally and then turn the master volume down to make sense for my stream audio, for my headphone audio, those types of things. And then I have another mixer later that mixes all my audio together. So this might actually be a little bit louder in the end product, but yeah, these are your volume settings. Change them at your ear's peril there. I find the music in this game to be beautiful, so I always keep everything on. I don't turn anything off. Language, English. I'm not even in the US. Do you have a Canada option? Nah. See, Canada, we don't have very different English than the US, but we do spell a lot of words with the letter U, right? Color is COLOUR instead of just OR at the end. So having a Canada English with those U's might be nice. Do they have a UK option? Not even a UK option, man. Civilization. Come on. Interface. Interface is a lot of really nice options for you. The HUD ribbons are the most important thing here. But let's go over everything. Clock format, 12-hour, 24-hour, depending on whether you go 12-hour, 24-hour time. If you're in the military or air traffic controllers or anyone else that uses 24-hour time, this is where you change that up. Strategic view, if you start in strategic view is just this screen right here. I use strategic view when there's a lot going on the map. Where is it? Toggle strategy view. Right, if there's a lot going on, strategic view kind of lays it out in really easy terms where your borders are, which tiles you have, which tiles you don't have, which tiles are visible. It just makes things a little bit easier, gets rid of a lot of the clutter, and it kind of turns the map into like a cartoon map. It's almost the worst time, right? I think like starting in strategic view is almost the worst because it's the least cluttered the map is ever going to be, right? Like when I started here, I can understand all this without strategic view. Strategic view really helps me when the map is big and there's a lot going on and I need to simplify it, and I can just turn that on right there. So I don't know why you'd start in strategic view as like a matter of strategy, but as a matter of preference, that might be what you want to do. I don't know if that's... I might have disabled that. I don't know if that's how the game automatically starts. Lock mouse to window, never. I have 3 monitors going on. I don't want to lock my mouse to my window. I got other stuff to do with my mouse while I'm playing Civ. Scroll when at mouse edge, disabled as well. I will drag the map as I need to. I need to be able to access both of my monitors while I'm playing because I have Twitch going on. I have other things going on. I have recordings happening. So I need to be able to just go and talk to my other monitors with my mouse. Replace hold to drag with clicks, disabled because I prefer to hold to drag. I don't even know how that would work. I suppose you just click the screen to the left and the right, but I just hold to drag. I'm comfortable with it. Auto unit cycling is very, very important. I have this disabled, and we'll get to this again when I get to my hotkey. I find the way the game auto cycles units to be really weird. Like you'll go from a military unit here. Like a military unit here. Where's that? There it is on the frame of the camera. To a boat unit all the way over here, all the way back again, up north somewhere. Like it really jumps you around the map. If you have this disabled, I find that it keeps the next unit it shows you in a much easier to understand format. This is just a matter of preference though that I have this disabled. HUD ribbon, obviously I want. All of this stuff is just size, mouse speed, minimap size, text for chat size. Again, all of your own preference here. Touch input enabled. I suppose if you have a touch monitor, it allows you to use that, which is really cool. I like all the little animations. They give me little water breaks. They give us cool things to look at when we build a whole bunch of different stuff during the game. So I keep these animations on. But again, matter of preference, just turn them off if you don't want the game. They're all skippable anyway, so I like keeping them on. I don't have anything saved to the cloud. Absolutely nothing, so I don't save any of this to the cloud here. RGB lighting hardware is really fun. I have some inside my computer case, right? So I can hook it up to do that. I don't because it doesn't really matter to me, but that's a cool feature. Key bindings, there's a lot of key bindings. You can change them as you like. A lot of people change key bindings for the lenses, so they can turn on all of these lenses with just a key binding instead of having to come over here and click. The main key binding change I've made to my game, where is it? Is the next unit keybind. I have it bound to Z. Where is that? Next action keybind. So instead of clicking this, next action is just clicking this. So I could click this to choose production, or no hands on the mouse, I can just click Z and the next action comes up, and then I can click scout, right? And then I click Z for next turn. So whatever happens there I'm pointing at the screen. Whatever happens here, right? A unit needs orders. If I press Z, it'll take me to that unit that needs orders. So whatever it's saying right here is what Z does, and that just saves me from having to click that a whole bunch of times. Otherwise, just go through these. The lenses and the next action are the most commonly key-binded things. Everything, you can obviously see it here. They have a keybind with them if you just want to use numbers 1, 2, 9, 5, 8. I don't know. Whatever works for you, but I might bind the lenses in the next action to something if you are new to Civ. And then application, show intro video, warn about mod compatibility. So that's very basic, and that's it. There's not a lot of in-game settings to talk about, but some of them are really important, like autosaves or HUD ribbons or binding next action. Whatever it is, thank you so much for watching. I hope this tutorial was at least kind of useful. Again, if you're not newer to Civ, it's probably not that useful. But if you enjoyed it, definitely hit that like button. It helps me know that you liked the video, but it also helps other people find it and enjoy the video as well. As always, I recommend checking out a whole plethora of other Civ tutorials on other channels to make sure you are a well-rounded information gatherer and not just getting all your information from one source who might not get everything right all the time, such as myself. I try my best, but I'm not perfect, so other Civ YouTubers and streamers out there have a lot of good advice for you as well. If you have any questions about any of the settings, put them in the comments below so other people can see them and I can respond to them. If you enjoyed the video, click that subscribe button so you can catch more tutorials and more gameplay action from this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.